Welcome to Flow. Let's get started. Today we'll start off in a cross-legged sitting position. Bring your hands to rest on your knees. Allow your eyes to close. Start to bring your focus to your breath. Today's session we're going to be focusing a lot on neck strength and then also finding a little bit of stretch and mobility through the neck. In this first seated position, allow yourself to sit up nice and tall. Feel your butt bones really rooted into the mat and lengthen through the back and front and sides of your neck. Feel your head nice and light on top of your neck. And then you can open your eyes and start to find just a little bobblehead motion with your head and your neck. So really small movements, just some circles through the chin or an easy tip of your head from side to side. We're gonna move into a side body stretch. Bring your right hand down, reach your left arm up and over, and take just a moment there. Lengthen all along your left side. Maybe drop your right ear down towards your right shoulder. Get a little bit deeper into the left neck. And then bring yourself back to center. Bring your left hand down, reach your right arm up and over, and same thing, if you'd like to drop your left ear towards your left shoulder, you can find that variation. And we'll switch again, going up and over to the right. Really let your left butt bone plug down into your mat and switch over. Left arm comes down, right arm up and over. Right butt bone plugs down into the ground. And now bring yourself upright to sit and move around so you're sitting on your knees, coming into a kneeling position. Interlace your fingers so they come to the base of your skull. Close your elbows in slightly and then tip your chin just a little bit. Now from this position, start to push or thread your skull back into your interlaced hands. So we're starting to find some activation in the back of the neck. This may not exactly feel comfortable. We actually want to strengthen these muscles in the back of your neck, since most of the day, your neck is in extension looking over at a screen or at your phone. So find some resistance. Push your head into your hands. Now rotate your elbows over to the right and then tip your chin down to your chest. We'll take a little set here. Lower your chin down to your chest and then push your head into your hands for like 2 seconds. Find that activation and then release. Let your chin go back towards your chest and take that about 3 times. Finding that activation through the back of the neck and then letting it go. So you actually, again, find that activation through the back of your neck and then you find a nice deep stretch when you allow that activation to release. And now rotate your elbows over to the left. Come through center, rotate to the left. And then same idea, lower your chin down towards your left collarbone. And then for about 2 seconds, push your skull into your threaded hands and then release your chin down. And continue there. Push your skull into your threaded hands and release your chin down. So you're finding this moment of activation through the back of your neck, and then you're allowing release and allowing even more stretch. And then slowly bring yourself back to center. Take just a few more moments in the center here. Push your head into your hands. Find this final activation. And then slowly release. Let that go. Take just a moment. May feel a little bit overwhelming. You may feel a little deconditioned in the back of the neck, and that's okay. From here, bring yourself to a tabletop, all fours tabletop position. Bring your left hand so it comes behind your skull, and then extend your right leg back long behind you. Now with your hand behind your skull, I want you to experience the same thing we just did in our upright position. Push your head into your left hand. And then with the leg lifting, we're finding additionally activation into the core. But continue to push your head into your hand and use your hand to lengthen and traction through the back of your neck. Nice and long, take one more breath. And then lower everything down. The hand comes down, the foot comes down. And we switch to the other side. So your right hand will come to the back and base of your skull. Now use your hand to think of finding length, finding more pull through the back of the neck while you push your head into your hand. Extend your left leg back behind you to add a little bit of core element here. Push your head into your hand. Continue to find length through the back of your neck as you push the head up into the hand. Actively plug down through your bottom left hand. Find more length, find more traction. Take one more big breath. And then release everything back down to the mat. Move back into your all fours tabletop. Cow spine, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, cat spine, push into the ground. Now, as you're doing this, try not to move the head and the neck too much, especially as you come into your arch. The head and the neck are certainly involved, and a lot of other times we will exaggerate a little more with the head and the neck, but for today's session, try to only move this through the spine. Of course, the head and the neck will move a little bit, but think that this is more moving through the spine. We take just a few sets, allowing the spine to move around. And just make sure you're incorporating your breath with movement. And then after your final set, move back to a tabletop position and then slide yourself back so you're sitting on your knees. Bring your hands to rest on your thighs. Now, lengthen up through the top of your head, push your chin forward, and then pull your chin back. And then with your chin pulled back, then think of lifting up nice and tall. Bring your hands to the base of your skull so you can find even a little more traction through the back of your neck. You're pushing your head, once again, into your hands. Actively push your head back into your hands. Allow yourself to sit up nice and tall. Bring your hands down to rest on your knees. We're gonna do something for the front of your throat. Close your mouth, tip your head back. Now open your mouth as wide as you can. You might feel that your head can drop down a little bit more. And then from that position, close your mouth. Try to close your jaw, close your lips, and you'll feel a bigger stretch into the front of your throat. And only take this as far back as you feel comfortable. Not a lot of opportunities to stretch through the front of your throat, so take it now. And then slowly bring yourself back up. Take a little moment again to kind of bobble around through your neck, just as we found earlier. And we're gonna take that one more time. So bring your head back to stillness, jut your chin forward just for a moment, and then do the opposite. Pull your chin, your skull back. Bring your hands to the base of your skull. Think of pulling up with your hands as you push the head into the hands. So you're creating this traction for yourself. We're only here for a few more moments, a few more breaths. Sit up nice and tall. Take one more big breath in. And then lower your hands back down to the ground. We're gonna come all the way down onto your belly. Crawl yourself forward, make your way there. Bring your hands once again to the base of your skull so your elbows point out. Lift your elbows up off the ground and then lift your head so you're starting to find activation. You don't have to lift your head a lot here. Can be small. Use your hands for traction. Push your head into your hands. It's a lot of the same theme here. Finding that activation. Now lower your head down, lower your elbows, take a moment. And then repeat, lift the elbows, lift the head, push the head into the hands. You're feeling that activation through the back of the neck. Lower the head, lower the elbows. Again, lift your elbows, lift your head, lengthen through the back of your neck. Push your head into your hands as you find that traction. And then lower your forehead, lower your elbows down. We do this again, lift your elbows, lift your head, stay and hold. Find that activation. And then lower your head and lower your elbows. Take this again, lift your elbows, lift your head. Now hold, pause right there. Lengthen through the back of your neck. Can you push into your head a little bit more? And then release. Bring your hands down to your side with your palms pointing down. Now lift your chest, your head, and your feet, and then externally rotate so your palms are facing away from you, and then bring your palms back down to the ground. We're gonna repeat this about 5 times. Finding that little moment of external rotation. Obviously finding activation and strength through the back of the neck, into the middle and upper back, and then also the glutes. But you really wanna think of lifting your thumbs, rotating them up towards the ceiling to find that peel, that openness through the chest, and that constant pull of your fingertips away from the crown of your head. We're gonna transition this into something else. Bring your arms out in front of you so they're like in a big letter Y shape with your palms pointing down. Now lift your hands, lift your head, rotate your palms in towards each other as you lift your feet, and then release. We take that again. Lift, rotate, pull the shoulders down, and then release. Around 5 times, same idea. Finding activation into the back of the neck, into the upper back. Plug the shoulders down onto your back and allow that rotation to happen in the shoulder. Nice control, a lot of strength here as you're lifting and lowering. And then release. Bring your elbows so they come underneath your shoulders. come into a Sphinx pose, and we're gonna do a little deeper neck stretching. Push your forearms into the ground, lower your chin to your chest, and then roll your right ear over towards your right shoulder. You can linger there for a moment, and then bring your chin back to your chest and roll your left ear over towards your left shoulder. And then just continue to move that, going side to side. Actively push into your elbows and your forearms, but try to let your head be very, very heavy. So keep pushing your elbows, your palms down evenly so you can feel even more of a stretch through your neck. Maybe even find a little bit of movement into the jaw as you're doing these very slow swings. Keep pushing down through your elbows. Think of surging your heart space forward. And then bring your hands underneath your shoulders, lift up. Once again, come to sit on your knees. Bring your right hand to your left ear, tip your right ear over towards your right shoulder. You could stay right there, or you could extend your left fingertips to a low left diagonal. You could stay still, or you could find a little bit of easy movement through the head and the neck. I also sometimes like to find a little bit of movement into the jaw. I think that can feel really good. But even just a gentle tip of your eyeballs up towards the ceiling can feel really nice. Keep breathing into length all along the left side. And then slowly release, and let's switch this. So your left hand can grab your right ear and you'll tip over to the left side and then reach your right fingertips to a right diagonal. Maybe move your jaw around, open your mouth wide, and then start to find some easy movement through the head and the neck. Stretch your fingertips away from you. Breathe into this space. Feel that extra length that you can create through the right side neck and shoulders. Bring yourself back, bring your hands behind you, push your hips up for a little mini camel. Option to drop your head if that feels available, to open through the front of your throat. Push your hips forward, open through the heart space, breathe here. And then gently lower your hips down to the ground. Crawl your hands in front of you once again and come to a downward facing dog. Now, downward facing dog may not seem like something for the neck, but I want you to think of this long slope that you're creating from your hips to your fingers. Your neck is involved, your neck is a part of that. So feel that activation, the pull, the energy of the crown of your head on that same diagonal trajectory. Spread your fingers, energize your heels down to the ground, and now start to walk your feet towards your fingers, ragdoll forward fold. Interlace your fingers at the base of your skull. And this time you don't have to push your head into your hands, but I just want you to find release. You are adding that traction with your hands behind your skull. You could take an easy sway or rock from side to side. And again, a little bit of movement through the jaw can feel nice as well. Bend your knees, release your hands, slowly roll yourself up. Stack through the spine, stack through the vertebrae. Shoulders, chin, and gaze are last to arrive. Once you get here, I want you to tense up all of your muscles. Make fists, squeeze your glutes. We're gonna take a head roll where nothing else moves except for your head. Lower your chin to your chest. Bring your right ear over towards your right shoulder and take a huge head roll. As you're doing this, everything else in your body is really clenched, except for the neck is released as you're moving through. And take this nice and slow. And then once you arrive to the other side, we switch. Left ear over towards left shoulder and try to keep that tension. Squeeze your fists, squeeze your glutes. Be really nice and loose through the head, through the neck. And then go ahead and release all of your tension. Let your hands go. Bring your gaze straight forward. Take a few moments to kind of roll around through your shoulders, through your head, through your neck. We're going to end in a standing position. You can choose to close your eyes if you'd like. And just take these final few moments. Feel the length and the strength of your neck, like someone's taking the tops of your ears, pulling you up towards the ceiling. Your chin is straight forward. Thank you for joining us. And that's your flow.